This week in Rust development, there's been a lot of work done on vehicles to help you go fast. But before we get into that, let's take a look at a couple other new things. Last week, we took a look at the new creative mode on staging, which basically adds a few admin commands that allow you to do things like building without having the resources. And now when you're selecting the color for your pipes and wires, there's an option to make them invisible. And this can be incredibly useful if you're trying to set up something for a cinematic inside of a monument. Some new assets for a panther have been added to the tiger folder. The maximum number of output containers that a water container can push to has been increased from 3 to 12, and fluid splitters and combiners can now be rotated. Hopefully the issue with invisible animals and invisible players will be resolved soon. A problem with electric heaters not heating the planters directly in front of them has been fixed. The second pedal bike that we previously thought was a tricycle now has a secondary sidecar, which is a shopping cart, and it looks like they'll be facing backwards. And also pedal bikes now have a chance to spawn on the road. The motorbikes are also textured now, so we can get a good look at them. There's a regular two-wheeled motorbike and then one with a sidecar attached to it. And there's no commits to this, but I can assume they'll spawn on the roads alongside cars and bicycles. The new hood and cuffs feature has been moved up from aux2 to the main staging branch, which is a good sign that we might see it soon. There's also a new command called toggle cuffs locked that's been added so that you can handcuff yourself if you're trying to shoot some cinematics, and everything else that we talked about in last week's video is getting ironed out a little bit more. Another new aquatic feature is being added called the DPV, which stands for the Driver Propulsion Vehicle. This fan blade that drags you around under the water is a deployable, comes with a headlight, and requires low grade to use. It works similarly as a submarine does and also has the ability to roll and pitch, and after 10 minutes of being unattended, it will float to the surface. Also, in regards to the murkiness of the underwater fog, it's not intended to be this way, and hopefully we'll see some clearness added to it in the next patch. The traveling vendor is finally on staging, and it looks like this is going to be an event that randomly spawns on the map. Each time that it spawns, it comes with a random selection of items inside of 3 vending machines that are on it. All of these items are the same, and what it has on it will not appear on the map, but there will be a marker for the vehicle itself so that you can find it. The pipe it command, which gives you the item that you are looking at, and the select item, which selects an item from your inventory that you are looking at, now have the ability to select items with similar skins. Also, an issue with selected items always being placed in slot 0 has been fixed. There's still a bunch of work being done converting things to the new mesh LOD, and if all goes according to plan, Rust will be using 1 GB or more less RAM than you were using in May in the next patch. There's work being done on a secondary wheel for the crude gestures that we saw a few weeks back. This would work similarly as you would choose a building skin, and there's also work being done on a customizable gesture wheel which would allow players to choose which gestures go in which slot. Recently, we talked about the new cinematic entities that were added in last month's update, and here you can see a list of what I think covers mostly all of them. If you've been using these already, there's a fix to the blue cinematic point light, which wasn't rendering properly on walls and backdrops. That's all I got for you guys today. Let me know in the comments what you're most excited to see coming soon. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, leave a dislike if you didn't, and I'll catch you in the next one.